Okay, welcome to Overdriving. Today we're going to talk about the relationship between drums and bass, rhythm section primer, some concepts that hopefully some of you have worked through already, but for others of you that haven't, and you know maybe it's your first band situation and whatnot, this will be some stuff that will come in your next jam time. Should open some stuff up, tighten it up, and make you rock.
Cool. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So my name's Kyle, which rhymes with Pile, and this is Pete, which rhymes with Pete. So here we go.
Scared me.
Sorry about that.
Wow.
Like that? That's a new move, by the way. That's the samurai hi-hat.
Wow.
Trick. Yeah, you can also use that for slicing onions. So you want to play a little break house? You there?
Yes, yeah.
All right. 1, 2, 3. We played a couple of little variations there as we built that a little bit, but for the most part there, what we had there was a bass line where the bass drum was supporting what the bass line was doing, right? Instead of going off on its own willy-nilly or just sort of being really straightforward 1, 2, 3, 4, really straightforward sort of thing. It was sort of accenting what the bass line was doing, but leaving a little room for it to breathe too.
Exactly, and the bass line wasn't playing exactly what the kick was playing, and the kick wasn't playing exactly what the bass was playing. They were reinforcing the strong beats, the downs, especially in funk, like St. James Brown always says, you got to know where the one is. It's very important. It doesn't matter whether it's funk, rock, pop, country, classical, the one.
What is the one?
3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1. So it's the beginning of the bar, right?
Absolutely.
That's what we're shooting for? Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's, when it comes to the relationship between bass and drums, it really is about the two of us being a team, you know, the dynamic duo. You might not have ever thought about this before, and you don't have to get too analytical, you don't have to get too crazy about it. There are some, I've seen some guys out there that'll just be zeroed in on that kick pedal and going, okay, every time that kick hits, one of my fingers is going to pluck the string. And you don't have to quite be like that. That'll definitely take some life out of the playing. But we definitely have to be working in tandem. We have to be reinforcing each other.
Absolutely. Well, let's try that same example. This time I'm going to play a little simpler, maybe too simple for that bass line and see what happens.
All right.
1, 2, 3. So that kind of works, but not really like it should.
In a band in the box kind of way.
That's right. It was. I mean, I was playing in time, so there's that. But really, what I was playing didn't really complement what you were doing. Part of that was I wasn't playing eighth notes in the hi-hat now. I was just playing quarter notes. The reason that sort of doesn't sound right is because he's playing a bass line that's got lots of what they call syncopation, which is where you're not playing on all the downbeats, right? If you're playing 1, 2, 3, 4, those are very obvious sort of divisions. But if you play like a line that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, that's very syncopated, right? So what Pete's playing in this particular line is somewhat syncopated. So if I play eighth notes in the hi-hat, he plays the bass line with this, 3, 4. Right. So it gives him a place for him to tie into. He has something to relate to when he's playing that bass line. You know, the more kind of accented and funky he plays, he needs something stronger from the drums to tie that together. Obviously, on the snare drum, I'm playing the backbeat. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bass. Again, now he's got a backbeat to play against, plus the eighth notes happening here to really give him something to play with With the bass drum now, if I kind of accentuate what he's playing, obviously then we have a real solid foundation that you can play off of. Right? Let's play it again. 1, 2, 3. So we improvised a little bit there, added a few notes here and there, but we're really basing the foundation together off of me playing off of the bass line you're playing off of, and tying that all together with the eighth notes and the hi-hat and the backing on the snare drum. It's really not that complicated. It's pretty straightforward.
No, but sometimes it is a concept that, like anything, it can seem really simple, really straightforward, and that's why it gets overlooked. And that's why all of a sudden you're like, oh, yeah, you know, I never thought about that we should be listening to each other. Like, you know, it definitely, in a band situation, there's an old adage that the band is never better than the drummer. And as a bassist, that's a hard line to swallow. But it really is true. I can't say it enough. It really is true. The drummer is the foundation of the band and the starting point. You never will be better than where your drummer is at. And the best thing we can do as bassists is, if we're playing with a great drummer, which luckily I get to, but regardless the level of the drummer.
I don't know why that was funny.
Well, it's Steve and his camera work.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Guitar players.
Yes, yeah. But regardless of where the drummer's at, our job as a bass player, get right in there, find out where he's at, and stick with him. Play in conjunction with the drummer. And it's only going to make it tighter.